Don't call sin weakness. The Bible does not ever call sin weakness. When you fall in adultery, don't say, my weakness is women. It is not your weak. You are very strong. That's why you can convince women to sleep with you. It takes strength. It's not weakness. Through your mouth, you can cause your husband to go and commit suicide. That bad mouth is not your weakness. You are too strong. The thorn in the flesh it was not a sickness. Paul wasn't sick. The scripture tells us what that thorn was. And you interpret scripture with scripture. In this very 2 Corinthians, Apostle Paul said, there was given me a thorn in the flesh. And then he says what that thorn was. A messenger of Satan to buffet me. Without going into the details of it, this messenger of Satan was simply a spirit that would cause uproar and opposition everywhere Apostle Paul would go. Paul would go to a city. He takes a boat, shipwreck. He goes to another city. He gets stoned. In another one, he receives 40 strikes minus 1. At one point in time, he said, Lord, I am tired. And this is what he calls a thorn in the flesh. This trouble that always befell him, and they were out of his control. And that is what Paul calls his weaknesses. And that's what God himself also called his weakness. So when you fall in adultery, don't say, my weakness is women. It is not your weak. You are very strong. That's why you can convince women to sleep with you. It takes strength. It's not weakness. Through your mouth, you can cause your husband to go and commit suicide. That bad mouth is not your weakness. You are too strong. So don't call sin weakness. The Bible does not ever call sin weakness. Paul said that all those bad events, the shipwrecks, all of those things, he says, these are my weaknesses. And so God says, my grace is sufficient, for my power is made available when you are weak. Meaning when you face a situation where you can't rely on yourself. And God establishes a direct connection between grace and power. My grace is sufficient, for my power is made perfect. So grace is the foundation of power. He says, by grace I am what I am. But that grace was not vain, because I labored. Yet not I, but the grace. There's grace in the beginning that is given to the Apostle Paul, like it is given to you. I call it beginning grace, empowering grace. So it is given to you for free, but you can make it vain if you are lazy, if you refuse to cooperate with it by doing the things you're supposed to do. That's why if you truly understand the grace of God, you will know that you can't be lazy. Grace doesn't sponsor laziness. But then there is something that happens. As you receive grace and you begin to labor with the grace you have received, the grace increases. It begins to carry your labor. That's why Paul said, I labored more than they all, yet not I, but the grace of God.